sucker.
You know, there's a lot out there. Corey Graves, of course, he got cleared to actually wrestle again, medically clear. CM Punk, of course, he made the news as far as calling fans out, hanging out at the airports, waiting for autographs. Eric Bischoff having issues with Tony Khan. Of course, the Hulk Hogan saga, the Hulk Hogan comments he made about Betty White as well as Sidney Poitier. You know, I don't know where we start, man. I don't know. Let's start with something light. Corey Graves. What the hell is he thinking?
Well, Corey Graves.
Yeah, let's start there.
Several years ago, I don't know exactly when it was, May 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. He was sidelined due to, I believe, repeated concussion issues that he was having in NXT. And that's when Triple H made the call to say, hey, we want to sign you as a commentator. Started his broadcast career in NXT, killed it. A lot of the fans loved him. And then they called him immediately up. And he's been one of the voices of WWE ever since. But I think, what is he thinking? He sees somebody like Edge, right? He sees somebody like Bryan Danielson. He sees somebody like Christian.
Wait a minute. We knew all of those guys, okay? You know, all those guys had a run, you know, and then something happened. Shawn Michaels, they retired, came back. Did nobody know who the hell Corey Graves was before he retired? Okay, I know he's gonna be pissed off at that a little bit.
Look, people do.
The thing is, he's done so good at being a commentator. What the hell is he thinking?
I'll tell you what he's thinking.
Back in that ring, and perhaps something happens, something pop, and then you know what? I don't know. I could be wrong here. I could be wrong, but I think Corey Graves, of course, you know, having that feeling, that adrenaline rush, sitting at the table, watching it go down is almost like watching the party go by and you're not participating in it. I understand that. I understand saying, hey, man, I might just have one chance at this. And if I got a chance to do it, I want to take it right now. How you going to tell a man that he can't stop doing what he's doing? I understand that too. But I remember one other guy, you know, another one of my partners, you know, one of my colleagues who did the same thing, you know, wrestler. Then next thing you know, commentator. And then next thing you know, man, I feel good again. I'm going to go wrestle. Went back to wrestle. Next thing you know, his ass was gone.
Oh, you're talking about Alex Riley.
Alex Riley, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not advisable.
He's been gone so long, I forgot his name.
Yeah, you couldn't even remember his name. We had him on the show. You can't remember his name. Look, I wasn't thinking Alex Riley when I heard this news. I did have a different name in mind, and this is why I think Corey's making a good decision here. This is the name that I had in mind. You want to talk about longevity and being able to cash checks from the desk and the ring? Jerry Lawler. How many times was Jerry sitting there on Monday Night Raw, exposure every week, and then every now and then they brought him into an angle? He's got a WWE title match with Miz on pay-per-view, right? That's called a check right there, Book. You get to scratch both itches. Scratch both itches. I said that, right?
That's
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, you see that?
Jerry Lawler, Bret Hart.
You're so confused. You don't even believe this.
No. Jerry Lawler, Bret Hart. They had a run, right? Corey Graves could be that heel commentator or that commentator that every now and then finds himself into a program. I used to love, as a fan, when we would watch the show and somebody calls out Jerry Lawler or they'd call out Jim Ross and Jerry would stand up for him. And next thing you know, you got Lawler in the ring working that night. And he'd do the shoulder strap and fist drop off the second rope. You know how much I loved that when I was growing up as a fan? I can imagine people like me in that perspective back in the day. But now, kids watching, if Corey Graves just stands up from the table and defends Jimmy Smith.
The thing is,
defends old Jimmy. Or Corey versus Byron. Corey versus Byron.
Let me this here. Okay,
WrestleMania.
I get that. I get your enthusiasms and you know how hyped up you are right now. But we haven't seen Corey Graves whoop nobody ass since he been there.
What better way to
Hey,
start?
you ever
Start
seen
now.
him even, bulk up to anybody or even get tough with it or even talk tough? And now all of a sudden, Corey Graves just gonna jump up from the table and just go whoop it up on guys. I mean, come on. You kidding me here, right? You kidding me, right? You kidding me, right?
No, I think it could happen.
All
I
right.
think it could happen.
All
Look,
right.
let somebody come for.
My advice to Corey Graves. My advice to Corey Graves is to sit at that table. Just like Ernie Ladd said back in the day, Jimmy Cornette has paid me a job to do that job, and I do that job well. That's what Corey Graves is right now. Do that job well, because you don't want to run back in that ring and something happened. Time off is your worst enemy.
I hear you.
How long has Corey been off now?
Several years.
Several.
I mean,
years.
6, maybe
several years.
7.
And so my thing is this,
8.
and the thing is, I'm gonna tell you right now, damn it, if Corey Graves make a comeback, I'm making one.
Y'all should do a program. Do a tag.
We should
Or you know what? It could be you. Y'all could do a 6-man. Y'all could run as a trios. It could be you, Byron, and Corey. You know what I mean?
Hell no, we don't want Byron in that. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now, Corey Graves he got more black in him than Byron. I'm gonna tell you.
I've never seen a Byron Saxton match, but I'm going to tonight. I'm going to go out of my way and watch one.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Byron Saxton, you never see him without his suit on or anything, but that son of a gun is jacked.
Yeah, I remember the pre-show pose down.
He's in shape. I won that pose down.
You did,
but he's in great shape. But I would not want Byron Saxton on my team. Okay, we're in WrestleMania. What were we at? Miami, I guess. Outside, getting ready for the show up on top of the building, whatever. I think that's where we were. And these two guys walked by, and we were rehearsing. It's like 5 o'clock or something like that. We're rehearsing. These two guys walked by, and the stage, in the area where we were, it was empty. Okay, nobody was there. And these two guys walked by, and they looked at Byron. They waved at him. Byron waved back, and then they looked at me, and they waved, and I looked at them, and I go, "What are these guys doing here?" Security. I called security over, and security go and check the two guys out. They had snuck in the building with some of the guys that had got in earlier. All right. They wouldn't have said anything to me. They would have been fine. But Byron wanted to give them autographs. Byron wanted to shake hands with them. It could have been a terrorist attack, and Byron would have let it happen. That's why I don't need nobody like Byron on my team. All right?
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. But Corey Graves, look, here's the thing, though, in all sincerity. If there's something that he really wants to do and he feels like he has unfinished business, I'm sure his first passion is inside the square circle. And I don't know if he's thinking about doing it at a long-term position, because I agree with you. Giving up that chair, not advisable, right? I would not advise that.
I wouldn't.
But if you can work them both, I don't see a problem with that.
You know what? If you can work them both, I would be all in with that. But I would, like you said, I wouldn't give up a chair. I just wouldn't. I just don't. I think Corey's doing such a hell of a job being a commentator.
Great work.
Those type of guys, they come few and far between. They really do. Guys like him that could command that position. Can you dig it, sucker?